What does it mean to be living on purpose? To be carrying out your destiny, so to speak? There's many things we can do in the world, many things we think we should do, what society tells us is normal and appropriate and acceptable. It's good enough, right? Is that really what you want out of life? To be good enough? Let me let you in on a little secret. When you're really living on purpose, when you're allowing your soul to move through you, to guide you, to create what it is you really want to create on the deepest of levels, the experience, now there's an action piece, but the experience is that of euphoria and bliss and excitement to be alive, to be able to carry out your role. It is such a gift. Now, if we find ourselves trying to fulfill something, more food, more media, more sex, more money, more whatever, it will never be enough, because we're trying to fill something with the wrong form of nourishment, when in reality that fulfillment can only come from living on purpose. And that means being fully present and listening to what it is that you are actually here to do in any given moment. And that may be vastly different than what society may think is there for you, and what even you may think is there for you or your family or your friends or people you do business with. And a big part of this is a sacrifice. It requires sacrificing what people think about you, right? It requires sacrificing different aspects of your life that maybe bring you some momentary gratification or pleasure. Because pleasure is not the pursuit that we are here for. Pleasure is an inevitable reward for truly being on purpose. For when you are living fully in alignment with your destiny, there's a sense of this immaculate euphoria and bliss and ecstasy greater than anything, any food or substance or drug or sex. It is greater than all of that. It is such an incredibly pure and expansive and rich feeling. Now, I tell you this not from some book that I read or from some guru. No, I tell you from my direct experience of life. I've explored so many different things, so many different jobs, so many different roles, things I thought were for me and then realized they were not. A very incredible prayer I did, and I would invite you to explore if you feel you are truly ready, though it requires quite a bit of honesty and courage, and we have to wholeheartedly be pure in our intent. The prayer is quite simple. You connect with whatever form of something greater than yourself that you may have, whatever you may call that, and you ask that everything that is for you in this life, may the doors be opened with so much ease and grace and clarity that you just know that is truly for you. And then you pray that what is not for you will close with such ease and quickness and clarity. Now I warn you, with this, I saw in my own life, many doors begin to close very, very quickly. Many relationships begin to close really, really quickly. And at first this was a little bit intimidating. I was like, whoa, all this stuff that I thought was for me, that wasn't really for me, is now closing. Though the beauty is what was for me was emerging with such a potency, with such a creative force, such an invigoration that I was like, yes, this is it. And I could feel it. And when I stepped into that, because followed by that prayer is an action. We can still go and entertain the thing that we know is not for us. That's our choice, though it won't probably feel that great, but we can do it, and it's valid. Or we can step into our destiny, which might be scary because it might require us to show up in a way that we've never shown up before. It might require us to do things that we may not fully understand in the moment. And that is some of the trials that come on this journey, right? Is to step into that and to embody the process and to really carry out your role. So the question is, are you living fully in your destiny? Are you living fully in your purpose? Or are you just living out someone else's dream for you, someone else's program? And if it's the latter, if you're feeling unfulfilled and you're chasing the money and the women and the food and the media and the dopamine and this endless circle, well, just realize like that's not wrong, and don't shame yourself, but just realize like you're climbing the wrong tree. And even if maybe you're in business and you have somewhat of success in business, but you don't feel fulfilled, well, maybe you're climbing the wrong tree. How far up the tree do you want to go until you realize this is the wrong tree? Better to just climb down and get back on the right tree, in my opinion. But if you want to go to the top of the wrong tree, you'll get a perspective for sure. And then you can climb back down and find the right tree, maybe. So, yeah, ponder these things. And it is a very important time in the world to embody that. There's so many things in the world right now that are bringing people into a sense of uniformity. So many social media influencers and make money online, and the coaching industry and the healer industry, like all of that is great, but not everyone is meant to do that. If we were all the same, it would just be this cookie cutter thing. So we don't want to be another cog in the machine. We don't want to be another metric. We could be. I mean, maybe you do want that. And, if you do, I support you in that venture. Though, for many of us, deep down, we know that there is something much greater than simply being a cog in the machine, simply being another, a robot could do all that stuff, right? We have AI, like, you want job security with all this stuff? Be truly who you are, because no one can replicate that. No entity, no AI can replicate you truly embodying who and what you really are. Nothing can replicate that. You are truly unique and special and gifted. And your creation is so unique that no one else could create it. So, sit with that. Listen. If this speaks to you, heed the call. Explore within yourself for the bliss and ecstasy that comes as a reward. Like I said, the intention is not to seek the pleasure, but when you truly step into that, when you lunge into your purpose, well, the rewards are greater than you can even imagine. And not just for yourself, because when you truly embody your purpose, you're not only contributing to your own life and happiness, you're contributing to the entire world. Because when you choose and decide to be who you really are, you open the door for others to do the same. And you pave the way, you set the template, the blueprint on earth that, like, hey, forget all the noise, forget all the programs, I should do this, I should do that, so-and-so says this is good for me, I need to do this many posts a week. Forget all the noise, listen to what's in here. Now, a fair warning, if you're truly listening, more than likely, depending on the phase of your life, you'll be called to a lot of action. So for most people, your purpose is not going to be to sit around and chill and just enjoy things. Like, you're called to work, to make love to the world. Work is love made visible. How can your love be made visible in the world? And that requires motion. But first it requires listening, so that we don't go down the wrong street or up the wrong tree. So, Godspeed, my friends. Until next time.